Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio,
where we go on an adventure to our personal laughing place, aka our favorite places to laugh at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, laughing place is what I thought too, but it's funny because it really wasn't.
Yeah, that was not a laughing place at all. That was we just got so wet.
Yeah.
That's really what was going on
I
there.
wasn't laughing.
No. Sometimes though, and we'll get into this a little bit, this very serious topic.
Yeah.
Sometimes on a thrill ride like that, you do laugh.
I know. Yeah.
You can't help it.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay, so today we're going all around Walt Disney World, and in a moment of levity, we're gonna discuss and exchange our favorite spots to laugh. I love this topic.
Yeah.
It's
fun.
There's a lot to laugh at Walt Disney World.
There is.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
It's true.
Yeah. I was thinking about it, and I was just kind of surprised when I put some more thought into this topic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also started thinking about other theme parks, and there's not as much laughing.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney has a lot of focus on comedy, which I think is fun. It's fun to tickle your funny bone theme park.
Yes. I love adding laughter to anything. You know what I mean? Like movies, especially if you're trying to get me to watch a superhero movie,
mm-hmm.
That's not as much my favorite kind of movie as it is like my husband or my child.
Yeah.
But they add humor in there and I'm all in.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Always appreciate a good laugh in there. We're gonna get into our list in a second, but before we do, we wanted to thank you for laughing along with us. If you would like to see the visual version of the podcast, we upload that to the Neverland Navigation Co. YouTube channel, and we would be happy to have you there. And while you're over there, liking and subscribing, commenting on the video helps us a lot. That's how we keep the channel going, so we would really appreciate it. Or if you're on an audio platform like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you for listening along, subscribing to the show, and leaving us a review. Is the best way that you can help the show keep going and keep us laughing into our next episode.
Yes. If you are thinking about taking a trip in the future and you're thinking about going to Disney World or Universal or going on a cruise or really anything, and you want to support a small business and get the best deal, then send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com, because I am a free-to-you travel agent. You get the best deals if you booked it yourself. You get deal monitoring. That way, if a better deal comes along between when you book and your trip, we'll go ahead and snag that, put you in the cheaper option.
Mm-hmm.
And you get free trip t-shirts, custom, whatever you want really, for your family. And that comes from our Etsy, 5-star Etsy store.
Yes.
So that's neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com.
Between the deal monitoring and the free t-shirts, you'll be laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, good one.
We have a lot on here. I think we should start with our honorable mentions. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
I only have one in the honorable mentions. I think you've got a lot more down than I do, but that's perfectly fine. Mine I put because it has laugh in the title.
Okay.
But we don't ever laugh at it.
I was like, oh my God.
We have to talk about it.
You can't not talk about it on a laugh-tastic episode.
This episode is designed for this attraction.
Ugh, like it or not.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor in Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom is like a comedy club type attraction where you...
Not for the faint of heart.
Yes, it is very audience participation.
You may get made fun of.
You may get bullied by a monster on a screen.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to make you laugh. It's like these monsters from the Monsters Inc. universe are doing a stand-up comedy show, and they interact with or insult audience members based on exclusively their physical appearances for a little while, and then they do some... sometimes improvised, sometimes pre-curated material on the screen, and the show is a little bit different every time, so that's part of the appeal of it. A problem that some people have with it is the feeling of that they're going to get... When you get selected to be interacted with in the show, they put you on the screen.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing at you.
It's not like you can get away with getting out of it.
Yeah, there's no way out. So obviously that's an anxiety-inducing experience for a lot of people, including me. I didn't love it when we did it last, and definitely including Morgan, who is anti-audience participation at any level.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be the focus of a bunch of tourists or anybody's attention. So it makes me uncomfortable. And then my dad said, well, it's fine as long as they're not making fun of you, right? And actually, no. For me, I'm very empathetic, so I feel bad for the person being made fun of.
We didn't like it, any part of it,
To
really.
to a level of I'm just uncomfortable, even if they're leaving me alone. But the parts where they're not bullying somebody
the
are
one-liners.
funny. Yeah,
We like that.
and they do some corny type knock jokes, and that's fun.
Yeah.
It's too bad they don't have a non-bullying option.
I would love to see them reformat the show in some type of way that focuses more on that like classic one-liner type of material, because I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you can do comedy without making fun of people. It's possible.
Yes, and they have a section of the show also where they an audience member sends in a joke that they pre-screen and then they tell. I would love to see that, like more like pre-screened audience members telling jokes. I think would be cute to have the kids telling the jokes a little bit more. I think there are ways to do that type of show without it being the way it is. So Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, the comedy club attraction, for us, unfortunately, it is a miss. We don't laugh in there very much. But if you're looking to experience it, that's what it is.
That is what it is. It has laugh in the name. We couldn't not say something.
A much better alternative was the comedy warehouse that existed in downtown Disney, which was where they would have actual comedy shows. They would have like improv shows and stand-up nights and stuff. It was like the whole idea was that you could kind of enjoy like a somewhat family-friendly comedy show at Walt Disney World in there, but that has fallen by the wayside. So now really the only comedy club thing that is focused specifically on laughing is Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Yeah, are you including anything that's not there anymore?
Oh, I did. I mean, I just mentioned that, but I didn't include anything else
on your list.
Yeah, I don't have anything on the list. No. Do you?
Yes, but I was going to say the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor does remind me a little bit of at least one of the Citizens of Hollywood back in the MGM days.
Okay, yes.
That they would kind of make fun of people.
Yeah,
but sometimes they were just doing comedy, right?
Yeah, sometimes they were just doing little skits and stuff.
I walked around.
You were trying to avoid the persecution of the character actors. I understand. They sometimes that was part of their shtick, was to do some like work.
It's just a personality thing. It's not like I'm so serious that I can't handle like making fun of myself. It's the attention thing.
Yeah, like, you don't like the feeling.
Yeah, when I got married, I was worried about wearing a wedding dress and everybody looking at me. Like it's just an attention thing. It's weird.
I get that. You felt very perceived.
Yeah, Citizens of Hollywood was something that you appreciated, right?
Yeah, I like Streetmosphere. I like when they've got actors and character out and about that are in the theme of the park.
And there was a bunch of comedy involved, I think.
Yeah,
even in the
improv.
Well, didn't they have like somebody? I mean, this is a long time ago, you guys. So
yeah,
it had like people doing kind of like Charlie Chaplin type stuff, and a couple that was arguing.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Anyway, so they did a lot of comedy. Some of it bullying, some of it not. That's not the one that was on my list though as an old thing.
Which Disney World attractions are bullying is our next episode. Yeah, honestly, it might be a sizable
if you have
list.
The same personality as me, what to avoid? That could be a freaking hour. I'm serious.
Yeah, how to avoid.
There's a restaurant that I don't that I don't go to because I don't want to be looked at.
It touches all quarters of the experience.
I didn't mention that one though. I don't think it's funny.
No. What's in your honorable mention list?
Well, I guess.
Or your past attraction.
I'm going to name my past attraction because I want to see what you think.
Tell me.
It's technically not a past attraction, but it's not funny anymore.
Oh.
Interesting, right?
Okay.
So I'm talking about Star Tours, but back when they had Rex. Rex was your pilot on Star Tours before they changed it to a new adventure. Or was it The Adventure Continues?
The Adventures Continue.
Yeah, my bad. And
Semantics.
Rex was voiced by the late Pee Wee Herman.
Paul Rubin.
Yeah. Am I not allowed to call him that? Was I allowed to call him that when he was alive and now I'm not because it's disrespectful?
You called him the late Pee Wee Herman. Live?
No, just Pee Wee Herman.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think we know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Paul Rubens,
Okay.
yeah.
Paul Rubens. And the character was funny.
Oh, yeah.
It was his first flight.
Yeah, he was there to, you were there to laugh at him a little bit because he was very nervous.
Right, he was nervous.
And so were you, because you're, you're face to face with the Empire.
Yeah.
In that ride.
Right.
So I definitely did laugh at him a lot when he was there. I did not think about the original Star Tours.
Yes.
But yeah, he was a very funny character.
And after the first time, I wouldn't consider it a laugh out loud because it's not actually his first time.
Right.
But this leads me to an honorable mention, which is a bar that he is now in.
Oh.
Oga's Canteen.
Yes.
Yeah, so that he is now the DJ there.
Right.
And if you really pay attention to the things he's saying, some of it is laugh out loud funny.
It's true, yeah. We got really, when we went to Oga's Canteen for the first time, seeing DJ Rex perform his set was what we were there to do. So we stood there and watched him for quite a bit.
Yes.
And he is very funny. He's got these moments where he remembers his programming back from the days where he was a very nervous Star Tours captain. And sometimes he has like technical malfunctions, and I won't give away too much of the script, but it's a good time. You should sit by and listen to him if you'd like
absolutely
a laugh, and maybe if you remember the original Star Tours, a blast from Star Wars past.
Right. And I think that really adds to it. If somebody went to Oga's that was not a fan of the original Star Tours, then they might not think it was that funny, but it's very funny if you're nostalgic about the old.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that your honorable mention that you mentioned your only honorable mention?
It was, yes.
I put, this is another restaurant, right? I put another restaurant on my honorable mentions, and that's Skipper's Canteen.
Oh, that deserves a place.
Bit of a hit or miss for us, like on the laughing part, not on the food part. Food's always phenomenal.
Yeah, food's good.
Your host that seats you a lot of times has a bunch of jokes, and then your server may or may not. We've found.
Yes, it's so true. Sometimes it's very there are no jokes. And that's fine.
But I think they're supposed to.
I think they're supposed to at least make an effort. But it does make you very much appreciate it when you do get one that's really delivering comedy.
Yes.
That's a fun addition to the, if you're going to theme it to the Jungle Cruise, well, you expect a couple of chuckles.
Exactly. I do. One last honorable mention, because this technically isn't doing anything to make you laugh, so I'm sure you didn't put it on your list.
Okay.
But it makes me laugh anyway.
Oh.
Is the Teacups ride.
It is on my list.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
I thought we would both just be putting things that like actually went out of their way to make you laugh.
Yes.
It doesn't make it. It's not trying to make you laugh.
It's not funny.
It's just.
It's so silly.
Laugh comes out of you.
Yes, because if you're going to be rotating around in a teacup, at least you can, laugh and have fun. It really, have you ever been on there with someone who really knows how to whip it?
Yes. My dad is like famous for this.
I can't stop laughing when I'm
in that
situation.
It's like an involuntary laugh.
You become 5 years old ago.
Yes, exactly.
One time I whipped that thing around so hard that my friend Tori and I had to sit down.
Yeah,
we could not walk.
That's how it is when we go with my dad.
Oh, memories. The teacups, you can't really help it.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'm sorry that I took one that was on your actual list, and I just didn't.
Don't be sorry. It's in a different order. Do you mind if I give you one from my list?
I think you should.
All right. My first entry onto this list is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Really?
Yes. This is in Hollywood Studios, right at the end of Hollywood Boulevard. When you first walk in, it is Mickey Mouse's first attraction. You are on a train that is...
Wait a minute. You're not scowling the whole time you're on this?
Scowling?
Thinking about the fact that they closed down the Great Movie Ride?
I try
it's
not
just
to
me?
be.
Okay.
Inside, I'm scowling. But for the benefit of the people that I'm there with, I try not to be scowling.
That's nice of you.
Yes. This falls into the silly category, and specifically it's when Daisy is teaching a dance class and you're in your trackless ride car.
Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know. And she's giving you these dance instructions, and she makes you conga, and the ride really shakes
Right.
you around quite a bit. That's a fun time to laugh.
It is silly. It is
You
silly.
can't help but laugh.
Right?
Especially if you're sitting next to strangers and you are accidentally, unfortunately, flailing all over them. It actually really helps the social situation, because then you can both laugh
Oh,
and
you
nobody
like that?
takes it personally. Well, yeah, if you're like all up in somebody's business, you don't want them to be upset with you. But if Daisy's making you all chuckle,
What are you gonna do?
you're holding your ribs. You can't help it. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can say.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I feel so bad when that happens. I'm like trying to hang on to anything to
Me
not
too.
like be bumping into somebody.
Me too. But sometimes I take up a lot of space, and I can't help it if I like my elbows, whatever. So yeah, I appreciate Daisy adding some levity to the situation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So would you like me to I'm gonna name one that I would it's at the maybe bottom of my list. Okay, and that would be Rock and Roller Coaster, just for the pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
Is that on your list?
No.
Yeah, because I almost didn't make the list, but the pre-show is funny.
Yeah. The pre-show stars Aerosmith.
Mm-hmm.
They're on a...
And an actress I've seen in a bunch of stuff, but I don't know her name. I'm sorry.
Oh, playing the agent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is recognizable. Maybe we'll do a little follow-up on that.
She was on Stir of Echoes.
Okay.
That was like a traumatizing movie for me when I was a
that sounds familiar.
Teenager.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's a horror movie with Kevin Bacon from maybe the early 2000s, or I don't know.
And would you say that's slightly different in tone than the Rock and Roller Coaster pre-show?
Maybe a little.
Okay. Yeah, this one is pretty this one provides a little bit of levity, fun. There's a fun moment where the cast member who's there with you interacts with Aerosmith, who was in the recording
I swear
booth.
they didn't always do that, too.
I don't think they always did that either.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that happened because people were interacting with the pre-show. And so they were like, oh, well, let's get on this. Or maybe Disney's
they should start, maybe a cast member should start answering in Guardians when they say, what do they call themselves? Instead of having a bunch of drunken people scream out that they're alcoholics. Yeah,
alcoholics. Every single time.
I'm like, okay.
We try to come up with a different one every time because we know everyone's going to say drunks.
Yes.
So we always try to be like...
I just don't think it's very original at this point.
It's not. It was very funny the first time we went. It was funny the first time. Because it was pass holder preview, so we all said pass holders.
Yeah.
And that was cute. That was nice.
Cute.
Yeah.
And it happened once.
It did.
And now everybody talks about being drunks in front of a bunch of kids in the middle of the day.
They've got their kids with them sometimes.
They do.
On Rock and Roller Coaster, have you ever been in that pre-show where they don't have the cast member interacting with?
I mean, I think that's how it used to be. So yes, I think quite a bit.
I remember in that moment, people in the room were all saying,
okay,
how about some backstage passes?
Yes, I think this was like an evolution.
Yeah.
Where at first nobody said anything because nobody knew, and then probably people started saying it, and then they were like, let's just have a cast member say it, which really is smart and probably should be what happens at Guardians, no joke.
And people need supervision,
yeah.
So let's put a cast member in there.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
In Guardians, a cast member could say something cute.
Should I tell you that I have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind on my list?
Oh, well, I of course have it on my list.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. Well, we're talking about it, so we might as well. Do you want to talk?
Oh, this is my favorite ride of all time. I may have mentioned that.
Just a time or two.
I don't know what to say. It's funny. It's Guardians. The pre-shows are funny. Mm-hmm. Even during the ride, they're cracking jokes.
Let's talk about some of our favorite moments. We like it at the end of the pre-show when Rocket breathes onto the screen and fogs it up.
That warms my heart in the weirdest way. I don't know why.
Yeah,
he fogs up the screen. It's funny.
It's cute. He's so tough, but that moment is so endearing.
Okay, my new favorite part, because I didn't even notice probably the first 12 times I went on it, is when during the pre-show, the guy says, your species has failed. Mm-hmm. And if you look over at Rocket, he's like just nodding his head. He's like, oh yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
That is so funny.
Yeah. And you have to look.
You're the one who told me. I had never noticed.
Yeah. I think Bailey told me. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So funny.
There's a lot of fun jokes. It's kind of hard to hear on the ride sometimes.
It is hard. I always hear the I hate milk part.
Yes. First there was milk, now there's Toast or whatever. Oh no,
No,
no.
Milky Way.
Yes, they're
He
like,
goes, "Yo,
now we're in the Milky Way.
Yeah, and Drax goes, "I hate milk."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't hear the jokes over the soundtrack, but they do that little bantery commentary the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
So this is a top for me.
And it also does that thing where you laugh because of the feeling. Because sometimes
Yes.
when you're like up and up, spinning around, and it gets you in crazy
Yes.
positions and stuff, you can't help but laugh a little
Right.
bit.
I know. I'm already smiling ear to ear just from the feeling. So this also, and our podcast is about Disney World, but all of you are Disney super fans. So I will say the Disneyland version of Tower of Terror, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, does the exact same thing.
I was wondering if you were gonna include or mention that, and it's funny that you ended up doing it. It's the same. I honestly think Tower of Terror is even kind of like that. I laugh when I ride Tower of Terror.
But from the feeling, it's like teacups?
Because or
because it's so corny at this point?
Because it's kind of scary. And when it's dropping you and you like have no control over how far you're dropping or whatever. So my reaction to that is to laugh. You know, and
sure.
I know there's some people like that. Some people scream. Some people hold their breath. There's a lot of different ways you can deal with it. I laugh every time. Same thing on Rise of the Resistance, where there's a moment where you feel a similar sensation. Yeah. I laugh every single time.
See, to me, that's different than being scared. It's joyful for me, the feeling.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it too.
On Mission Breakout, there are funny things that are happening though too, like funny things that are being said, funny things that are happening. At one point, Star-Lord kicks one of these monsters, and then a bunch of them like pile on top, and then Baby Groot is like pointing and laughing at him. It's funny. It's funny. And then the whole pre-show of that has Rocket, and he's got his sarcastic funniness. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he exists in animatronic form.
Yes, it's amazing. And Monsters After Dark is their Halloween overlay. And there's something, I don't want to quote it because since it's Disneyland, I haven't been on it as much as the rides here. But there's at some point that he is insinuating that he needs us to put our hands in the air to distract the monsters. And then he goes something like, "You'll put your hands in the air and the monsters will," and then he says something else because it's obvious they're going to come attack us.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, okay.
That's fun.
It is fun.
Okay, I have a question to ask you.
Sure.
I know you're a big fan of Mission Breakout. Recently, Ariana Grande was on a podcast where she read an open letter to Walt Disney World begging them not to transform Tower of Terror here in Florida into a Guardians of the Galaxy or any other kind of overlay, and she called the overlay calamitous or something like that. So after Ariana Grande read her open letter to Walt Disney World, I would ask you, would you like to have an open letter to Ariana Grande?
I don't think I'm going to be as mean as it probably deserves.
Okay.
That's not nice. I love the redo of the Tower of Terror in California. I think to give them credit, they left one as traditional
and changed
one, another one.
Right?
Yes.
Ours is the original.
Yes, exactly.
So better.
And they do this a lot. You know what I mean? We got to keep Country Bear where Disneyland lost it. They got to keep Mr. Toad where we lost it. And as a Disney superfan that goes from Disney World to Disneyland sometimes, I really appreciate there being some differences.
Variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should stick to singing.
Ooh, okay, wow. No, honestly, I figured that might be your opinion. I just know you love that ride, so I was surprised to hear a celebrity kind of,
especially when
give it a little dig.
They added music and you're kind of like dancing and singing. I'm surprised that with her background, she hates it.
To her credit, she says in the letter that she grew up going to Walt Disney World and that she loves their Tower of Terror. And it's not that,
she can't afford plane tickets to Florida. I get it.
It's I don't think so. I don't.
It's not like they took it away completely.
Yeah, right. And I think she was just saying, don't mess with the Orlando one, please. Which I think we both actually agree with.
Yeah. I think they should leave one.
Right.
If it were just for me and this world was my world, I would have the original one be in California and us to have the Mission Breakout one because I like it better.
Okay.
So I would rather experience the original one for nostalgic purposes once every couple of years and get to do Mission Breakout on a regular basis. Because the other thing about Mission Breakout is it's different every time. Not every time, but like it's like our Guardians where you would get one of 6 or one of 5 songs or something like that, which changes the experience in addition to the video that you're looking at changes.
That is cool. I do love
I mean, that happens here, but it's not as intense here. You're like, okay, I dropped 4 times instead of 5. Like, you really need to be paying attention.
It's true.
And I saw the eye versus seeing the people. You know what I mean? Like, it's not massively different.
It's more noticeable to have a randomized song.
Yes.
And we do really enjoy that about Cosmic Rewind.
Yes.
As well. Is that you don't know what you're getting until you're screaming.
Yes, exactly.
Which I love. It's so fun. And that's also true of Rock and Roller Coaster. I guess we have them to thank because that started it all, huh?
Yeah. So I really like that aspect, that the little bit of a different story, the different song. So I would rather have my home one personally.
Okay.
But I'm okay with it. It's not the world's not for me. It does make sense for the original to still be here. Yeah,
okay. Got it. That totally makes sense.
I'm not hating on Ariana Grande. Everybody has their opinions.
All right, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right.
That's funny though.
I know. It's rare that we get a celebrity who
on the podcast
openly. Oh yeah, she's here actually. Ariana, do you want to come out? It's rare that we have a celebrity immediately openly address Walt Disney World in a letter.
Yeah,
that's fun. That's interesting.
That's where she wanted to make her voice known. All right.
She wanted to
influence.
I actually related to her in a brief moment because she said it was in the spirit of historical preservation to keep the Tower of Terror not updated to Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, I think I've said that about a couple of things.
Sure.
I can see where you're coming from.
I completely agree. I think having one made sense.
No, yeah. I would love to experience Mission Breakout just for the queue alone.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
To get there, yeah.
But when you're somebody that does Disney World and Disneyland, even if you're only doing one or the other every few years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really, really nice to have things not be cookie cutter same.
I love that.
Yeah, because when I go to Disneyland, I don't waste any time on something that I've got the exact same thing I can go on here.
Yeah, exact clones.
Yes.
We don't do that.
No, why would I?
That's foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Now, if there are rides, like, for example, the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland has enough changes from Orlando to...
I'm talking cookie cutter same. Those are the ones I don't bother with.
Exactly. And that makes plenty of sense to me. All right, I've got another one if you're ready for it.
I am ready.
I don't know if this is on your list. Have you ever even experienced Turtle Talk with Crush?
It is on my list. And yes, this is another one with audience participation.
That's why I figured it might not be on your list.
Yeah, and you know what? My kid doesn't like it because of the... clearly, that's something I passed down.
But that one, I feel like you don't have to.
Especially if you're an adult.
Yeah.
He only wants to talk to kids.
Yeah.
For them, I mean...
Great for you.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing for you. You do not have to talk to that turtle, not one word. Turtle Talk with Crush is on here with me because it's one of those attractions that has produced some viral videos.
I know, yeah.
Of children like interacting with Crush in a very cute, funny
way. Right.
And just what the children say alone
is funny.
It's funny, and then his reactions to it is very funny. This, to me, is my preferred use of that Monsters, Inc. laugh floor video sync technology that they have. Right. I think this is very cute, fun.
And in my experience, he talks to the kids that want to be talked to.
Right.
So it's not
true.
He's not bullying some child
he would never.
No,
Crush.
exactly.
Please.
But it winds up being hilarious.
Yes.
Even if it does seem a little bit like making fun of if the kid says something ridiculous and then
everybody laughs.
Yeah, and
Crush is like,
yeah, blinking at him or whatever. Yeah, and that happens and it's funny, but
it's not nearly as
It's not bullying.
bad as an actual bullying
The
situation.
kid basically did that to themselves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not.
And Crush isn't gonna like be mean about it.
Yes, he's not mean.
He's just gonna laugh because it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do like it a lot. I think it's fun. That's really one of the funniest things.
We should do
can
it
be.
sometime.
Yeah,
We've never done it together.
Yeah.
We've never done Turtle Talk with Crush, and I don't think we've ever even talked about it on the podcast.
I don't think we've ever talked about it as friends.
I think this is literally the first time.
Yeah.
But it made our laughing list, so hey,
I think that most adults wouldn't go there without a child. Nope. And my child...
It's like Enchanted Tales with Belle. We're not going in
right.
there. You'd have to drag us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. 1 billion%. So, and my child, who is now a teenager in late teens, didn't want to go before.
You missed the window.
Well, no, I guess. I was not allowed in the window.
Right. That was a hard no.
But now we're in the window where it would be okay to go.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
I meant the window of time where, like, generally it's younger children who participate.
I'm preschool age. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And they're the ones that say the funniest things. I mean,
it's true.
Kids say the funniest things.
Cute, and they say it so serious.
Yeah.
It makes you laugh. All right. What do you have? Tell me more.
Well, can I see your list?
Yeah, and if it's on my list, still say it, because we got to get to it sometime.
Yeah, see, I think you should talk about this one, and I'll talk about this one and this one. So I'm going to talk about Jungle Cruise.
Wow.
Jungle Cruise can be a bit of a hit or miss. It's always funny on some level.
Yep.
I went on Jingle Cruise yesterday. I'm going to do it once for the holiday season because I am Christmas obsessed, as you all know. But the line for it can be absolutely crazy.
And it is one of our few holiday overlays.
Yes.
We don't have very many here at Walt Disney World.
And a good one.
And it is.
It's not Haunted Mansion.
Of course. Yeah. But for what it is, I appreciate it.
Right.
It's just lights, Christmas-themed jokes.
Lights,
Santa Claus hats on things. Which is all we ever ask for anyway.
It's all I'm asking for. It's not that much.
It's not.
But the line gets crazy because it turns into Jingle Cruise and because it's kind of an exclusive to the holidays thing.
Yep.
I went on it yesterday. The line wasn't too bad. I was really happy to be on it. The skipper that I had she could have been great, but nobody could hear her.
Oh,
that was an unfortunate situation.
Because the thing wasn't working, you think, or you can't tell?
No, I think it was. I think it was her
speaking volume.
Yes, but I don't think anybody would tell her.
Okay, we are 2 former drama teachers. Yeah, and we are not afraid to tell people to project.
Right.
They are speaking.
Yeah, but I would not have told her. That would have been. Of course
not. You're not her drama teacher.
Yes, exactly. She needed to project. She needed to keep the mic the mic was like right up on her mouth.
Maybe she's new.
So yeah, it was.
And
garbly.
She's waiting for management to ride with her and tell her that.
Yeah.
In notes, you know.
Yeah, it was. So that was a little bit unfortunate. We missed a lot of the jokes because of that.
Happens, yeah.
Yes, but it is a fun thing to do, and a lot of times whether it's Christmas or not Christmas, it is absolutely laugh out loud funny, over and over and over and over again.
Which is sometimes
I like that it evolves.
Really need that in the middle of your Walt Disney World day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is like we were saying with Skipper Canteen, it is totally luck of the draw.
It is luck of the draw.
But that makes the amazing ones so much more amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's when I retire, I'll be a Jungle Cruise skipper.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I used to sell a shirt on Etsy, on our Etsy store. And I mean, I still can. I don't know if it's still posted, but it said skipper in training, but it was for kids.
That's
very cute.
I figured a little kid wearing a skipper in training.
I had made it for Bailey originally.
Oh, nice. Wearing that on the ride would probably be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You know that we have no Animal Kingdom at all.
What's so funny about Animal Kingdom?
Nothing. It's very serious.
They have a comedy, a show with comedy in it. It's tough to be a bug. We just don't ever.
Oh, we just don't like it.
Or laugh. We have a much better time not doing it.
Yeah, I would laugh at somebody that said we should go do that.
Not to you laugh at them.
Yeah.
Not to kick it while it's down though, because it is getting replaced. So.
And maybe the next show will be funny.
Yeah, Zootopia.
And not have roaches.
Yeah, probably not, right? There are no roaches in Zootopia. Just sloths and tigers and foxes. Oh my.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that Zootopia show.
I'm sure it'll be funny in some capacity.
I've got a show on my list.
Okay, let's hear it. Oh my gosh, I have an honorable mention, but it's not one that is really... Anyway, go on.
Okay, I have Muppet Vision 3D.
Of course you do. I do too.
Muppet Vision 3D, in my opinion, is probably the funniest show at Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a personal opinion, because whatever people find funny is funny. I think the Muppets are hysterical. The pre-show makes me laugh every time. The jokes kind of make you laugh in a groaning way in the show sometimes, which sometimes is fun. I love that show. I love the comedic timing of the Muppets. I wish we got the Muppets more. And I laugh every time I'm in here.
I do too.
Had to make the list.
Yeah, and if you've been on it so much that you're not laughing, then just go in that pre-show room and start looking at all of the props that you haven't seen before, because they are funny.
They are funny. There's a bunch of really funny little sight gags in there.
Those posters are funny.
Mm-hmm. The posters are funny. There's Tutti Frutti, which is flat fruit. That is 2D.
Oh, funny. See, I didn't know about that. There's so much stuff in there.
And you could truly go. And there's also like, they had a guest star on the Muppet Show a lot named Annette Gello or something like that.
Okay.
So in the pre-show, they have a net hanging from the ceiling that has like gelatin in it, and that's supposed to be like a pun joke about her name.
Wow,
which
deep
is
cut.
such an insanely deep cut.
Yeah.
That I don't think practically anyone gets it at all. But
no, oh my god.
But that's like, it's not that.
How did you
level.
find out?
I had to read it on the internet.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But who's reading the Muppet blogs like I am? Yeah. Nobody's reading the Muppet blogs.
This is definitely news to all of our listeners, I'm sure.
Yeah, as it should be. Hey, when you guys are in there and you want to laugh really hard, when Miss Piggy's doing her I Dream the Dream musical number, you look at her head, because when she...
you gotta look very, like, don't blink.
Don't blink, and when she's...
Jake told me about this, and it took me, like, 3 viewings to see it.
It's true, and maybe...
But now I can't unsee it.
It's that kind of thing that you can't unsee. When she's doing her her musical number in the park during the Little Dream, and she's being kind of pestered by Gonzo. She is about to get pulled by a water ski, and when she does, in production, they didn't want the felt head of the puppet to get wet, so they rigged it so that it can slide backwards. So when she gets pulled, you can see her head roll off and roll backwards, and it's really fun.
Wild.
It's crazy, and you feel like you're not supposed to be looking at it, really.
Yeah.
But it makes me laugh every time, because I always tell
Jake's
whoever I'm with to look out for it.
Jake's like, her head falls off, and I'm like, what?
She didn't believe. Morgan doesn't trust me ever since I told her Beyonce was performing in the American Adventure Pavilion.
Which, I mean, she was.
She kind of was. It was a stretch.
It was a stretch.
Is this joke actually stretching before your eyes? All right.
Okay, hold on. So the one I put in honorable mention, but I put a question mark next to it. Let's just see what you think, because I don't do this very often, is Tiki Room.
I also considered putting this on the list. Isn't that funny?
Is this funny enough?
It probably was hysterical in 1971.
Yeah.
Or before that in Disneyland, 1960 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is probably really, really funny. Nowadays, I do not laugh at
crickets.
At all.
Yeah, I don't either.
I did groan laugh at it when it was
Under New Management.
Isn't that funny? Because that was pretty universally disliked by the people.
Yeah, I don't believe that I experienced that in real life.
I think you told me that.
Yeah.
Right? And then they closed it because there was a fire.
And then I thought that they closed it because people didn't like
Poor
it.
guest
Because
feedback.
people didn't like it. But it was like the Ariana Grande thing, where people didn't like that they changed such a nostalgic, original thing.
Yeah.
Although they did keep the one in Disneyland. Again,
Yes.
giving credit where credit is due.
Okay, yeah. And then they ended up reverting ours back to the
You
original
know
one
what?
anyway.
I don't know that. I don't know that the Disneyland one didn't change to under new management.
I don't think it did.
I don't think it did either.
I don't think it did.
But I don't know that for a fact.
Gotcha.
I heard it was funny. I think you said I should watch it on YouTube, but I haven't yet. I just forgot about it.
Yeah, as a Disney nerd, I just think it's interesting because they did install an animatronic into it, which makes it interesting on its own.
And so, Iago, right?
And and Iago and Zazu were there. Some Disney birds of the time.
Right. And funny Disney birds of the time.
Very funny, with their original voice actors. So Gilbert Gottfried was in the tiki room. And as a kid, I thought they were very funny.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. If you haven't ever seen the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, just give it a look see on YouTube. It might be fun for you to go back to a time when that was what we thought was normal.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. You might laugh out loud.
Okay. Do you want me to go on?
Go on.
Where do we want to finish?
Well, we both have both of these on the list, so I don't think it matters.
Okay.
But it is your turn.
Okay, so mine is the Country Bear Jamboree.
Perfect.
And I mean, you could actually say either version, the old version or the new version.
Yeah.
I will talk about the new version because I think that a lot of people, including myself, were very, very concerned about them changing it and taking what was a funny show, albeit kind of inappropriate at sometimes, and then just adding some Disney songs. Like, that felt
sacrilegious.
Cheap. Yeah.
And we were feeling like Ariana Grande. This was the original Country Bear Jamboree. So we were feeling some feelings about them changing it because they had already axed the one in Disneyland.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But also we weren't, I wasn't surprised we would lose it. I was surprised that they thought that changing it was a good idea. And I just didn't think that it would be funny because they were just acting like, I mean, it sounded like they were just going to be adding, the bears are now going to be singing some of your favorite Disney songs. And it's like,
yeah, we were prepared for just a fully sanitized, like Disney Playhouse type of vibe.
Exactly.
For the Country Bears.
Turns out, it's funny. It's
pretty
still funny.
We laughed quite a few times.
Yes, the three on the wall.
the moose,
the buffalo, and
somebody else is
the
there.
The
deer.
Yeah.
Right.
They're very funny. Laugh out loud funny.
I think they're funnier now than
they're
they were
funnier
before.
now. Yeah.
That's high praise.
They make some dad jokes, you know what I mean?
You've grown at a couple of them.
Yeah, but I laugh out loud at that. You know what I mean?
Me too.
And then what they did with Big Al is funny.
Yes, and Liver Lips with his flaming bow.
Yeah, that's not Liver Lips.
Nope, that's not. That's what's his name.
I don't know.
Romeo? Oh no, that's the same person. They just don't call him Liver Lips anymore.
Right.
Yeah, one of the characters when they're playing their fiddle or something, their bow catches on, like starts to steam up. I thought that was a pretty funny.
It is funny. It is funny.
Laughing.
And then one of them does the Frozen song, the Fixer Upper song. Funny. It's all. I think that almost all of them are actually funny.
And hey, who's thinking about Fixer Upper? That was such a random thing to hear.
I wonder,
laughed just hearing that.
Right. You'd have to know. You'd have to have watched the movie a bunch or done the Broadway Junior like we did.
Yes, or directed Frozen Junior at some point in your life. But I bet there's so many people who know every second of that movie because it was that movie that kids were watching
obsessively.
Over
I'll bet so too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's absolutely laugh out loud funny. Same. And I'm shocked to say that. I actually think it's funnier now than it was before.
Yeah, before you would
it was a little cringy.
You would laugh and you would be like, oh my God.
How are they getting away with this?
How are we getting away with the lyrics? I don't think you should whoop little Buford. I think you should shoot him instead.
Yeah, even blood on the saddle.
Even you just laugh because you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is still in here. It's a different kind of laugh now.
It is.
It's like
PG.
A good family fun. It's a wholesome laugh.
Yeah.
Wholesome frontier
but
Western
the whole audience is laughing and clapping and stuff like that. I don't think anybody is not enjoying it.
And now they know the words to the songs.
Yeah.
Because before, who knows? Not a lot of people knew.
Well,
knew the.
Us.
Oh, we sure did. We didn't even need the bouncing ball. We could have sang right along.
Sure could have.
All right. Are you ready to move on?
I am.
All right. The last one on our list is for the last time in forever. Just kidding. For the first time in forever, it's the Frozen sing along. This has been known to get us laughing.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this my number one though. These were not in order.
No, yeah, this was very loosely ordered, but this is on here mainly for the two hosts of the show. In this attraction, you are singing along to the songs from Frozen. And the way that it's formatted is that it's these two historians recapping the events of Arendelle history.
Mhm.
So telling you the story of the movie, basically. But they're making their own little jokes. They
Is
have
it
dance
scripted?
moves. It is loosely scripted.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But lots of opportunity for improv.
Okay.
Which is fun because sometimes they add their own little jabs or little jokes in there, or they have their own pre-planned
That's always the
bits.
best kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I find that to be true as well.
Yeah.
And if you go enough, which we did for a while in my household, then you start to recognize them and you have favorite ones. We did this like every time we went to Hollywood Studios.
When you were a kid, or no?
This was not around when I was a kid.
Oh.
I meant when I was in like 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when this was kind of new, I would say.
Oh.
Yeah, we would go
I
a lot
mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
for a couple reasons. Air conditioning. I liked Frozen. It was really funny to have the different jokes in the beginning from the different Arendelle people.
And taking a break is nice.
Yes, it does get really loud in there with all the kids, though, so we don't really go as much anymore.
Sure.
And it's also been exactly the same the whole time, so we know it backwards and forwards.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very funny, especially if you've got children. It's definitely fun. It's different every time. Improv comedians, that's super fun. It's worth a laugh or two in there. I don't think it's as funny as Muppet Vision 3D, and I don't think it's as funny as the Country Bear. Maybe we should have ordered this.
Yeah, our Guardians.
Or yeah, I laugh on that Cosmic Rewind ride quite a bit. But yeah, lots of good laughs to be had. I wonder which park wins this. By far, Magic Kingdom. It looks like.
Wow.
Yeah, you've got all your laughs in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. And there are little ones that we didn't mention that also could like Scuttle and the Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
He is. You mean the ride, right?
I do mean the ride.
Yes. Yeah. Under the Sea.
As opposed to the show?
Yeah.
The old show.
The show, yeah.
Okay.
And Scuttle wasn't even in that. I don't even know what I was thinking. Yeah, that Scuttle in the queue of that ride and in the actual ride, he's pretty funny. That's true. I didn't think about
little laughs.
Little laughs. These are all big belly laughs. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you would like to laugh, you can join us on our social media. We're on TikTok and Instagram at Neverland Navco, and we post history stuff, shopping stuff, reviews, updates, all kinds of fun stuff, and we like to laugh over there. So if you'd like to laugh with us, go check us out on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We also have an Etsy store called Neverland Navigation where we do custom shirts. So if you have a favorite ride or a favorite character or whatever, go on to Etsy at Neverland Navigation and send us a message, and we will draft up a design for you and see if you like it. Also, that's where you would get your free custom trip shirts if you book a vacation with me by emailing me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com.
Yeah, you won't regret it. Morgan's such a good travel agent, it's not even funny.
Okay.
All right, we're off to do some much needed work on our stand-up routines. So until next time, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye.